Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode and a new season of the Football Fignuts podcast. This is season 8, episode 1. If you counted all of them for the last 8 seasons, I don't know why you would have, but this is number 311. I'm Craig.
And my name is Britt.
And Britt, we are still here. Season 8. We are both still here doing this.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. I guess we like it in some subconscious level, I guess.
And we are live on Twitch right now on the Howard Moon BG channel. So hello to everybody on Twitch land. You are here for the season premiere, the season spectacular. The Football Fignuts podcast. 8 years, our 8th season. Crazy that we've been doing it this long. Insanity. Hey, Rainier just checked in on Twitch. Rainier, you're just in time for our podcast recording. We do it live sometimes, and we're doing it live. But first, we start where we always start on this podcast. Craig, what are you drinking?
So tonight, I have a beer from a local brewery, Aspatug Brew Lab. This is Tulu times 2. This is their double IPA. It is an 8%. It has...
is this the Turbid Lucidity?
Yes, but it's a double version of that. But yes.
So they're calling it Tulu times 2. That makes sense. That's a clever play.
Yep. So this has Citra, Simcoe, and Mosaic hops. So I'm going to put this back in our... I have the can in the Brewmate little cozy thingy you got me.
Nice. Yes, that thing is so good.
It is. It is extremely useful if you don't want to use a glass.
Yes. Craig is going to be very upset. I spent some time with my in-laws on Sunday.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, they're lovely people. It's my sister-in-law and her husband, and he's a bit of a craft beer aficionado. Yeah, go grab a drink. DM absolutely going to join us in a drink. If you are drinking and you're on Twitch, link in chat what you're having tonight, even if it's just water. Let us know what you're having. And he says to me, "Hey, before you go today, you brought a cooler, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I brought a cooler because I knew we were going to be outside." He goes, "I got something for you." And what he handed me was 9 cans of beer from a little place we like to call Treehouse Brewing.
Oh my God! Do you have Julius?
I have no Julius.
Oh, okay.
But what I have, if I could, I ruined the reveal.
Oh,
hold on.
Sad.
So what I have, that didn't sound good, but all right, whatever. Is green.
Oh, that's a good one. I prefer the Julius, but that is a good one.
So they have a beer called Green, and then they have a beer called Very Green, and now they have this one called Green with like 3 G's.
I have not had that then. I've had the green period.
Yes, and the green is good. The green and very green is good. So on the can it says, "For green, we pushed our principles to the extreme. The result is a rich, hop-saturated beer featuring notes of pineapple, guava, dried jackfruit, tropical fruit, and citrus." So, yeah, I haven't tried this yet. I literally just opened it. Let's see where we go.
All right, let's try it. Well, you can try it.
Okay.
And taking a swig.
Mm-hmm. I'm waiting for the flavor palette. Okay, hoppy up front.
Yep.
Like you swallow this and your tongue screams that those were hops. And then it just kind of mellows out.
Okay.
And then the hops come back a little bit. And here comes a little bit of a dry feeling. Not terribly dry, but dry enough to you just drank a very hoppy IPA.
So does it dry your mouth out on like the back end of it or not really?
No, front.
Oh.
Front end. My tongue is screaming right now.
Okay. All right.
My tongue is screaming. I don't love it, but I also don't hate it because you and I this is one of the things we've always complained about with beer. We hate beers that make you so thirsty you have to drink 4 more beers.
Yes, and not saying that drinking 4 more beers is a bad thing, but yes.
Yeah. This is very, very good. And DM is joining us. He's got a Guinness. Guinness is one of Craig's favorites.
Hey, that's an awesome go-to. It is amazing. If you're near like an Irish pub, I just get a Guinness. Don't get anything else. Just get a Guinness.
Yeah. Yeah, we were lucky enough to attend the release party for Guinness's first ever overseas collaboration, which was Two Roads Brewing, which is like 10 minutes from my house. It's actually right between me and Craig. It's kind of 10 minutes from both of us.
Yes.
And Dan wants to judge what an American Irish pub is like. It would fail.
It depends. It depends only because there are some pubs around here that are owned by legitimate Irish people who are from Ireland.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they're really authentic. These are probably people who got kicked out of Ireland for being posers.
I don't know. The Castle's been around a long time. So,
well, the Castle's not really a pub.
True.
That's a restaurant.
True.
That's a restaurant.
Valid point.
But we were at Two Roads when they released what the hell was it called? The Road Rises?
Yes. And
May the Road Rise.
We were on a video with people in Ireland and we were waving at them.
It was simulcast at the Guinness Brewery.
It was a fire hazard on both ends.
It was such a fire hazard. There had to be 500 or 600 people in this building that has like a 250 person occupancy. And we got there. We knew it was going to be a shit show. So I got there at like 3:30. Craig got there at like 4:30. And we were like, all right, we'll just sit and have a pint while we're waiting for everything. And then all of a sudden, Craig tapped me on the shoulder and go, look behind you. And I looked behind me, and without, like, in a matter of, like, 10 minutes, it went from, like, 12 people in the tasting room to, like, 200.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, God, thank God we got here early. It was a lot of people.
Yep.
A lot of people. We drank a lot of beer that night,
and we waved at Ryan in Ireland while he was there.
Like 3 times.
Yes.
Like 3 times. The guy we know from Two Roads, Ryan, was one of the folks sent to Ireland to be on the Guinness end for the event. And he said, I hung around the camera because I wanted to see what was going on in the room. So every time I walked by the camera, I would stop and wave. And he would laugh and wave back and to raise his glass, and I would raise my glass. And this happened like 4 or 5 times.
Yep.
And he will openly tell you, what do you remember about the Guinness collab? And he'll tell you all about the things he'd love to do in Ireland. And he'll go, but if you're asking about the event, all I remember is that Britt was drunk. And he waved at me like 16 times.
I think he was drunk too.
Oh, he absolutely was. He absolutely was. And he'll openly admit that too. So, all right. So we're both drinking some good stuff today. We have our friends on Twitch joining us in a toast to an 8th season. Let's get right into it. Let's go. So this week is going to be a lot of just, next week our draft rankings start. So next week we'll be discussing quarterbacks. Who we're discussing quarterbacks with?
That's up to the 2 random otters we have on this podcast randomly.
The only rule I have, is that there's never more than 3 people on this podcast during the reveals.
Right. Right. Not the round tables, because that's different.
Nope. Yeah. During the reveals. Because we tried it back in 2021 with all 4 of us on the call, and it was a shit show. It was me. Can I say one more thing? No. It was that. And nobody wants to hear that. So we have a limit. It's no more than 3 of us at any given time. I'm going on vacation.
Yes.
Sean will also be on vacation. So there will be easy weeks where it's just going to be Craig and 1 or 2 of them.
Right. Exactly.
But for next week, for QB rankings, everybody's available. So I told them they have to decide, and they're having a hard time with this.
Yep. They still have time to figure it out. They have 6 days to figure it out.
Here's what we know. Next week, QB rankings will be revealed. Our podcast QB rankings will be revealed. It'll be me, it'll be Craig, and it'll be one of our contributors. Which one might come down to Thunderdome? We don't know.
Exactly.
So this week is going to be just a lot of like banter and questions back and forth. So Craig, do you want to give or do you want to receive? I have 5 topics on my table.
All right, then you can give. That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Shall we start with the weird one first?
If you'd wish.
Let's start. Let's get weird. Let's get weird, kids. Get weird right away. There was a big announcement this week.
Okay.
Out of Kansas City.
All right.
And that is that the Kansas City Chiefs have agreed to film and partake in a Hallmark movie.
Okay.
This year, the Hallmark Channel, which is infamous for really cheesy holiday movies.
Yes.
Like basically from like Halloween through the end of January, like 4 months. They run these terrible holiday movies. They will be producing and displaying Holiday Touchdown, a Chiefs love story. And I shit you not, that is the title. Before I tell you who has signed on to do this, what is your first impression of the Hallmark Channel signing for I'll tell you. I want to hear yours, and I'll tell you what my first reaction was, because my first reaction is classic.
I mean, I feel like part of me is gonna be like, really? And
that was my initial reaction. Yeah.
The other part of me is gonna be it's gonna have like 3 random Chiefs on it that people won't know who they are, and they're gonna have like 3 lines in it total.
Okay, so that's where more information comes in. When they announced this, it was 2 weeks ago that the official announcement came out that they were going to do this movie. And what they announced at that time was that Andy Reid would be in it, and at least part of the filming would happen at the Chiefs Arrowhead Stadium.
Okay.
That was as much of a Chiefs tie-in as we knew, was that Andy Reid. And if
he has done commercials. He's done commercials.
If you've never heard Andy Reid talk, he does not have a voice for movies.
No, he does not sound how he looks.
It's more like, Craig, I need you to go over there and get me another beer. It's gravelly. It sounds like he is dying to get the words out. Not a voice for movies. Yeah. So they have bailed him out, because today they announced joining Andy Reid will be guard Trey Smith, wide receiver Mecole Hardman. You had a mouthful of beer, didn't you?
Yeah, almost.
Don't drink until I'm done. Just protect yourself. Running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire and defensive end Jordan Karlaftis.
Oh,
and
God.
Other players to be named later.
So that's 2 players. If you do fantasy sports, you know who they are. You don't know who the other 2 are.
Hardman and Helaire.
Yep.
Correct.
And other players are going to be like, and you do because you're a Chiefs fan. And the other players to be named later are going to be people who like the punter.
All right. So, oh God, no. Oh, you know what? No, I like our punter. He's got crazy, wild hippie hair, so I like him.
Not the kicker, the punter.
The kicker's the asshole. That's right. First off, I think this is hysterical. I am convinced that they are releasing this now because they want the world to wonder if Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift will be in it.
Probably. Do you think
yeah.
No, I was saying, do you think like if for whatever reason the 2 of them broke up, would the world stop? You think?
No.
At this point? No.
No, there would be mass mourning. The Swifties would be in mourning. The Swifties have really loved the Travis Kelce thing because it's goofy. He seemed like when he joined her on stage for a show and and became part of the act.
Yep.
That's Travis. Everything, if you're not a football fan and you're a Swiftie, you would never have seen this before, but that's Travis. He's a goofball. He's very serious about his work. They both are, but he's a goofball.
He's not allowed to stand in front of a microphone and during official team meetings.
Go back and look at the visit to the White House like 2 months ago and just freeze frame when he walks up to the mic, and the look on everyone's face is abject terror.
Thank God Patrick stopped him.
No, Pat, that was the Super Bowl party.
Oh, that's right.
He actually got to the mic at the White House, and all he said was like, "My fellow Americans." He decided to be very funny, but you have no idea what's going to come out of his mouth at that point. So if he does appear in this, I guarantee you she's mentioned, but she doesn't appear. So I have a Twitch comment that when you say the Swifties, you mean yourself. Yes, I do like Taylor Swift. I would never pay the hundreds of dollars that people are paying to go see her, but I do like her music. So holiday touchdown, a Chiefs love story coming soon. My wife's reaction was, we're going to have to watch that, right? Because she actually loves the Hallmark movies. She just finds them very campy and silly and formulaic.
They're very what's the phrase I'm looking for? They're very like brain junk food. Like just
yes.
You turn it on, you sit on the couch, and you just sit there and forget about like whatever happened to you that day. You know.
Yep. Christy calls it brain bleach.
There you go. Same idea.
And that's it. The only other reaction I had to this was how pissed off are Dallas Cowboy fans right now. Because if anything happens to a specific team, it has to be the Cowboys or they get pissed off.
They do. Well, Jerry Jones does anyway.
That's it. Why is this not a holiday touchdown, a Cowboys love story? Why do they get it? Why? Because they got lucky and they won a couple of Super Bowls? What makes them so effing special? Dak Prescott's a better actor than Patrick Mahomes. That's it. It's brain rot. DM calls it brain rot. He's absolutely right. So that was my silly one. What is burning on your mind tonight, Craig?
So one of the big things that NFL news-wise this week was the question: Did Joe Burrow, did he just fix football? Provided that, because let's all face it, at one point in the future, possibly soon, but we never know, because the NFL does things. The NFL, as we all know, wants to go to 18 weeks for whatever reason in their head. 18 weeks is the key to get to. So Joe Burrow said if that happened, they need to have 2 bye weeks where every team has their scheduled bye week. And then like in week, I think he said it was like week 13, possibly.
Yeah.
At week 13, it's kind of like so imagine the Major League Baseball's All-Star Week.
So everybody gets
everyone has week 13 off, and if you want to play in the Pro Bowl, go play in the Pro Bowl, whatever. I just want to know your thoughts on that. Apparently Chase Daniel, remember Chase Daniel? Does anyone remember Chase Daniel?
Yeah, quarterback from Missouri, played for the Chiefs.
Yeah. He said that the NFLPA is already having meetings over what Burrow said, and they're quote unquote not happy about it. Though
really,
the NFLPA is literally never happy about anything ever at any point in time, no matter what it's about.
That's accurate.
But for me personally, I think they should, if that happened, they definitely should have 2 bye weeks and then give people the option if they want to play in the Pro Bowl.
All right, so a couple of things here. Number one, if you're hearing a buzzing in the background, it's because it's still 1,000 degrees here, and I had to turn the AC on. Number two,
I don't hear anything, so you're good.
So it'll show up in post. Watch, it'll show up in freaking post.
Probably.
I don't dislike the idea of a universal off week. I really don't. The NFL is going to hate the idea of a universal off week because what do you show on TV? I mean, Sundays between September and the end of January are football days for a lot of people. So what are you going to put on the TV that's not football there? Well, you can run the Pro Bowl. No team is going to sign off on their players taking a Pro Bowl week in the middle of the season. No one is. It's a different kind of idea than baseball where it's like, all right, our guys... People have gone to the Pro Bowl and had their careers end. True. Robert Edwards. Has everyone forgotten the up-and-coming running back of the New England Patriots who hurt himself during a flag football game on the beach during Pro Bowl week?
Yes. Yep.
And I'm not talking about like, oh, guys, let's go out and throw the ball around. Haha. It was a sanctioned fucking event.
Yep.
So, no, that's never going to... I love the idea, though, that, all right, so everybody gets a bye week in the first, say, 10 weeks of the season.
Yep. So
which is how we pretty much do it.
Pretty much, yeah. So their scheduled bye week would just happen as it normally does.
Then give everybody a bye week after week 13.
Right.
You're extending, and you're going to 18 games. So you're extending the season by 1 week in terms of number of games. And then you're extending the season by 1 more week in order to accommodate this new bye week. So now we're in the Super Bowl near the end of February. That's fine by me. I'm okay with that. Instead of February 7th, it's February 21st. Okay.
I mean, they could do... So instead of actually having a Pro Bowl game, they could just do like a skills competition if they wanted to.
Let them play Madden.
Because that really isn't going to... It shouldn't really do anything. Like,
let them play Madden.
Yeah, why not? There you go. Just do it on, they do it on Twitch. Just have them play Madden together. And I would be okay with it because I would be the same thing. I agree with you though. I would be okay with it if they had an extra week off. If they added another game.
Do it by position. I want the Super Bowl quarterbacks to sit down across from each other and have to play Madden and see how it goes. That's what I want.
Oh, there you go. Here's what you do. You get 2 quarterbacks, right? Yeah. And then you have someone else who's actually playing the game, but the quarterbacks are the one calling the plays, telling the person actually playing what to play, like what play to do.
Whoa.
I see. But the quarterback has to do the defense too, so they have to do both. See? I would watch that.
I like it.
I
like it. That's crazy. Just a quick note. So my next item is going to be a quick note. Did you see that Monty Kiffin passed away?
I did not.
The legendary coordinator from Tampa Bay, the creator of the Tampa 2 defense, which is still widely used around the league today, passed away today at the age of 82. So, R.I.P. Monty Kiffin. Thank you for what you did for football. Lane Kiffin's dad. Remember when Lane Kiffin was the hot coach for everywhere, and then he was bad at it?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. He flamed out of the NFL. Then he went to Tennessee. Is he still in Tennessee, or did he flame out of Tennessee too?
I don't know, actually.
Could be both. Who knows? So, all right. So earlier tonight, one more item, and I'll throw it back to you. Earlier tonight, I was playing games on Twitch. I'm still almost done with V Rising, by the way. I'm so close, which is good. Because I want us to start playing Once Human.
Oh, you want to try it? Okay. All right.
It's free to play, so there's
free.
no reason you and I can't play. Other than I hope your technology can run it.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. Craig is one of those guys who upgrades when he needs to, so, and that's fine because he knows exactly what he's doing. So, but one of my viewers, DM, who I've mentioned is having a drink with us right now. He's having a Guinness with us right now. Asked the question, can you explain fantasy football to me briefly? So, Craig, my question to you is, someone approaches you off the street and says, I've heard of fantasy football, but I have no idea what it is. In 60 seconds or less, how would you explain fantasy football to someone who's brand new?
Someone who's brand new. Now, does this person know what Pokemon is?
I'm going to assume yes.
Yes. All right. So, here you go. Perfect example.
Pokemon.
You play Pokemon. I hate you.
All right, I want to see where this goes. I'm curious now.
Play Pokemon, right? You collect different Pokemon characters, right? And then what you do is you select said Pokemon characters to fight against another Pokemon player, quote unquote manager, and you put them together against each other. And you play
Right.
and you're playing Pokemon, so basically you're playing Pokemon once a week in this tournament against each other? No, just competition against one other person. And you have to take your, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, say 10 Pokemon against this other manager's 10 Pokemon. You play each other and see how you do at the end of the day, once a week. And that's fantasy football, essentially.
That is a way better explanation than I gave. Way better. Way better. I've never thought about it in terms of Pokemon, but yeah.
That's right. That's what it is. That's, if you really think about it, that's all it is.
That is wild.
And will this Pokemon be better than your opponent's Pokemon? Maybe. I don't know.
DM just put in chat 11 out of 10 rating. Best explanation ever.
Thank you. Sorry I said that so
I'm
fast, but Britt said I only had 60 seconds, so I was trying to hurry
No,
it
that
up.
was fantastic. I was like, okay, so you start off with a draft and blah, 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 blah. That is a way better explanation.
And if you want to think about it, the draft in terms of cards, just imagine like I threw like 10 Pokemon packs at you, and you just pick who you want, and you can only keep 20 of them out of the pack. There you go.
Yeah. Wow. I actually thought that was going to be a bigger discussion.
I hope that helped.
I think it did. I think it made a lot of sense to DM. Yeah, it actually did. It made a hell of a lot of sense to me. So
once a year, Britt and I have a massive Pokemon battle that we exchange a metal cup for.
It's behind me, actually.
It is behind him somewhere in his frame of reference.
It's on the top shelf there next to the lamp. It is called the Sturgis Cup. It is prominently displayed in the streaming room. DM's comment, honestly, that made way too much sense. Wow, that's well done. I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
And you know what? And then, I guess, yeah. No, that makes sense. I won't keep going because then it may not make sense. But
no,
yeah.
I think No. You listen. If George Lucas had taken that advice and stopped after Return of the Jedi, I think we'd all be a lot happier. So yeah, just stop while you're way ahead. All right, what else you got for me tonight? What else is burning for you? I've still got more topics, but I don't want to dominate everything.
Burning for me, and something that may or may not matter. I mean, it may matter. Everyone says, and not everyone, people are saying, because they need things to write about when there's no football.
Mm-hmm. True.
The Miami Dolphins, Mike McDaniel and Tua. I don't feel like trying to pronounce his last name. Mike McDaniel and Tua. Thank you. People are saying this is it for them. They have to get somewhere in the playoffs, or they're over. They're done. Do you think that's true?
Absolutely. This will be the third year that he's had all the weapons together. This will be Tyreek Hill's third year. I think so. In the offense. Devon Achane's second full year in the offense.
Yep.
Tua Tagovailoa's like fourth or fifth year in the offense. They have got to produce this year. And I mean, we're talking 10 wins is the floor for them right now. They have got to get to 10 wins this year. If they don't, then you know what? It's going to be blow up time. The coach is probably the safest person there, but the owner and the GM are going to start looking around and going, "This isn't working."
Yeah, is Tua still on his rookie contract?
Yes, I think this is the last year of his rookie contract. Last guaranteed year. I think next year's the year they could tag him or they have to extend him. There probably is an option involved. But yeah. So this is an absolutely a make or break year. And you look around their division in the AFC East, and you say to yourself, "There's no way the Patriots compete this year. None. If the Patriots got to 8 wins this year, that would be, hey, good job, guys." The Jets. There is no way to tell what the Jets are going to do. Is everyone going to stay healthy? Probably not. The Jets getting to 8 to 10 wins is kind of a coin toss this year. Buffalo is good, but we're already hearing the rumors out of Buffalo that this is going to be Josh Allen's last year.
No Stephon Diggs.
Diggs is gone. There is already rumors coming out that the Bills are ready to move on from Allen, and they are willing to do a sign-and-trade deal in order to set up their next big guy. That conversation is already happening. Miami should absolutely compete for this division and at a bare minimum make the wild card. And if they don't, they absolutely need to expect repercussions from the front office. And I did all that without mentioning Pokemon, so...
That was impressive. Good job.
and random insert Pikachu. Done. What do you is it make or break for you?
For them, yes. I mean, as you've known since 2 years, 2 years ago, I'm personally, and I know I don't, like Cinch doesn't think it matters. I don't think, maybe, I don't know. Like Tua's injury history just really scares me. Like, I'm really scared, like, he's going to get hit and not get up. And I think, this year for that
last year, I'm not that worried.
Yeah. So, I think this year, for this team combination, I really think this is it. If they don't get at least a wild card spot, I think, like you said, I think the ownership of the Dolphins is going to be like, I don't think it's working anymore. And start looking at other places, other players. So
yeah, that was the sound of a second beer from Treehouse Opening.
Oh, excellent.
This is it's your Lucky Day IPA.
Oh,
so
nice. Nice.
It's all right. All right, so let's talk about Tua for a second.
Sure.
I'm not convinced that this season is going to be a referendum on Tua, but when I look at last year, I'm going to tell you every game where he got over 100 points in a QB rating.
Okay.
All right? You tell me when you're impressed by the opponent.
Okay.
At the Chargers.
Nah.
Home against Denver.
Nah.
The Giants.
The
Panthers.
The
Patriots.
No.
Vegas.
Okay. Not... All right. Yeah, maybe.
At the Commanders.
No.
The Jets.
Okay, the Jets defense is good. All right.
That's it.
Oh. So that was 2.
So Buffalo, at Buffalo, 92.8 in week 4. At home against Buffalo, 62.7.
At home?
At home in
What?
week 18.
Really? Damn. They're supposed to be good in the summer, or well, not the summer, but they're supposed to be good at home in the winter, is what I mean.
Right. So in my chat, one of my viewers, HMC, just put out, it's insanely difficult to find a better QB than Tua, considering they're not going to be bad enough to get a top 5 pick. If they're going to move on from Tua, he's going to be part of a compensation package that puts him in the top 5. It's going to have to be. It's going to be a team that thinks it's going to be good very fast, that is willing to trade down.
Like probably the Bears.
Well, the Bears supposedly just got their franchise quarterback, right?
Yeah, they also said that like the last 4 drafts too. So
yeah, and we also have to consider too, to HMC's point, what quarterbacks are we eyeing in this upcoming draft? I'm not a college guy, so to me, I don't know that for a while. But I can tell you this, in terms of fantasy points, and again, we do fantasy points, Tua did not finish inside, and that means 9 or better, inside the top 10 among all quarterbacks after week 8.
Really?
He was 10th in week 13 against Washington. The last 5 weeks of the season, he was in the 20s in 4 of the 5 weeks.
Ooh, and then for fantasy, that's important.
So, but again, fantasy is not necessarily reality. So the question is, if the Dolphins don't produce, do they blow it up? They might. I think
they do. I think they do.
But I don't think it's fair to blame Tua. I don't necessarily. He did fumble 13 times last year.
I won't say he has all the faults, but I mean the quarterback is usually the one that gets. It's like the coach and the quarterback are their first 2 to get blamed for anything.
Yes.
But it's like if they don't make a wild card spot, I can't see the Dolphins ownership being like, hey, we should pay this dude $80 million. You know, at this point.
And to that point, HMC just put out in chat again. The only good news is Tua is probably going to be undervalued by the public in fantasy. I'm looking at the Fantasy Pros rankings because I haven't finished ours yet. Yep. Fantasy Pros has Tua at 12 among all quarterbacks, and I think that is really low.
Like doing the best ball drafts I've done so far, Tua is one of the last last major fantasy quarterback to be drafted in the ones that I've done.
Would you take him after Kyler Murray?
No, I take him before Kyler Murray.
You need a quarterback, and you're staring at Kyler versus Tua. Who do you take?
I would take Tua. I don't trust
Jordan
Kyler
Love.
Murray.
Jordan Love versus Tua.
I might take Jordan Love.
Brock Purdy.
Yeah. I would say they're even. I would take Tua.
I'm taking Tua over all 3 of those guys, and I'm not a Tua guy. The only reason I would take Brock Purdy is because you like saying his name, Brock Purdy.
He does have a good entrance name. He does. Can't deny that.
Yes, I mean exactly. But to the point, and this HMC is talking more in chat about this, and I see HMC. You're right. The point is, we talk about fantasy and we rate based on fantasy. Owners rate on wins and losses in the NFL, and this matchup or this combination is going into their 2nd full year completely in place. 3rd full year if you take Devon Achane out of the equation completely. No, Achane. This would be Achane's 3rd year, right? Because he was
second.
hurt.
He was a rookie last year, so this would be.
He was a rookie last year. Okay, I get confused sometimes with that. So, the expectations in Miami have to be high based on the amount of time and the weak division that they're in.
They are in a weak division, and owners in the NFL today, they as stupid as it is, they want results like within 3 seasons of them signing their quarterback.
Because look at the freaking Chiefs.
Who else? The Bengals, the 49ers.
The Bills.
The Bills. That's what everyone is like. They're taking those and I guess the Ravens, if you want to count Lamar. Those teams, the rest of the league are looking at those teams and be like, I want that. And it has to happen or you're going to get fired.
So again, let's go back to the Chiefs the Kansas City history. They draft Patrick Mahomes, they leave him on the bench, and Alex Smith has a really strong year.
He had a good year.
They make the change, add Hill, they go straight to the AFC Championship, and a year later they're winning the Super Bowl. That's what owners see. Owners see, and this is to Cinch's point. Our contributor Cinch says this all the bloody time. Without the quarterback, you got nothing.
Yeah.
All the time. He says this.
Yeah.
And that's what owners see. That's what owners see.
Unless you're Jerry Jones. Because then you just keep giving Dak Prescott money.
The mention of Jerry Jones just made me spill beer on myself.
I'm sorry.
That's not your fault.
But like here's a perfect example. If the Cowboys don't go anywhere this year, as usual,
McCarthy's gone.
McCarthy's gone, and I think Prescott's gone. This is his last year in his contract. He's not a Cowboy again next year. Next season.
Let me put out a crazy idea on the table right now.
Sure.
Craig and chat, tell me I'm nuts.
You're nuts.
Miami stinks.
Yeah.
Dallas stinks.
Yeah.
Tua to the Cowboys.
I can see Jerry Jones doing it. It wouldn't shock me at all.
It would not surprise me either. Would not surprise me. So, all right, we got time for one more quick question, and we got to do wrap up. So I got one more question for you.
Sure.
The rookie class this year.
Okay.
Everybody's talking about Marvin Harrison Jr., right?
Yes.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
With
Marvin
no
Harrison.
one,
oh my God.
With no one to throw to him. Very sad.
Oh my God, I want to have his baby. You're a male. I don't care. Everybody's obsessed with Marvin Harrison.
Yes.
I want you to tell me somebody outside of Marvin Harrison Jr. that you're looking at and you're like, I don't know. This would be. So you can preface it by saying in Dynasty I like. You can even say, hey, I think this guy's going to have a really good impact, so I'm really looking at. Talk to me.
Right.
Who do you like in rookies this year?
In rookies this year, there's two, at least for me as of right now. So one is Jaden Daniels for the Commanders because he's also starting at the same time as they also got a receiver, Rome Adunze. Oh wait, no, he's a Bear. Damn it, that screwed up my whole theory. Never mind. Anyway, I think Jalen Daniels is a good quarterback, and I think the Commanders have a decent core of receivers, and I think he's in a good spot. Here's the thing, and I know Sean's going to be upset about it.
Boy, here we go.
The Bears have yet to prove to me they can draft a quarterback and then nurture said quarterback.
that you can't argue with that. It's a fair statement.
Like in the last 4 quarterbacks they've drafted.
Oh God.
They've done, if we go all the way back to Mitch Trubisky, they've done nothing with quarterbacks. So sure, Caleb Williams is talented. He's a good quarterback. Is he going to be a good quarterback as a Bear in the NFL? I don't really think so. But anyway, I think Jaden Daniels, especially if you're in a dynasty league or if you're in a keeper league, is definitely somebody to look at. Personally, somebody I would probably avoid, again, just me, is probably Malik Neighbors because he's a Giant. And, well, they're the Giants, and they don't really have an answer.
Daniel Jones?
They have Daniel Jones, who may or may not be their quarterback after week 4. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to play your game.
Sure.
I just pulled up a list of every draft pick for the Chicago Bears in the first round going backwards. You tell me when we hit our first, the first quarterback we hit that you're like, okay, that guy was worth the pick.
Okay. Oh, Jesus.
We can't judge Caleb Williams, right?
No, he hasn't played yet in the NFL.
By the way, his middle name is Saquon, and I might call him Saquon going forward.
That's fine.
Justin Fields.
Okay.
Mitch Trubisky.
Okay.
Cade McNown.
Okay.
Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh?
Jim Harbaugh was their pick in 1987 with the 26th overall pick.
Really? Oh, all right.
Do I keep going?
What's the next one down?
Jim McMahon.
Well, wow.
He won them a Super Bowl, Craig. Come on.
He did. No, that's fine. Really? Wow.
That's 1982.
Wow.
So for the last 40 plus
So wait,
years.
when did they draft Mr. I don't care about anything? What's his name?
Oh, I don't know. This is all first round.
Has the reality show. He wasn't a first round pick?
What, Jay Cutler?
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, no, Jay Cutler was not a first round pick. Or he was not picked by the Bears. I will never get tired.
The Bears have never had a 4K passer in their whole history.
That's correct.
Yes.
I believe Sid Luckman is still their all-time leading passer in one season.
Oh, Cutler
came from the Broncos. Rainier dropping the knowledge.
Thank you. I'm not up on my Bears quarterbacks. But yes.
So,
wow.
Okay. 10-second aside because you brought Jay Cutler up.
Yeah. I mean, how can't you?
Last Friday, I'm working from home, and my wife is working from home. And when she's working from home, she puts it on the background. She usually puts some sort of trashy TV on.
Sure. Oh, no. Was it the Jay Cutler reality show?
No, it was worse.
Oh.
I came out of my office, and she was watching Jersey Shore Family Vacation.
Okay.
And the episode was the episode where Mike, the Situation, whatever the hell his name is, was invited to a celebrity cornhole tournament. And leading up to the tournament, Jay Cutler was talking shit at him on the internet.
Oh, my God.
So he's like, I got to beat Jay Cutler. I got to beat Jay Cutler. I got to beat Jay Cutler.
Oh, my God. So, wait, if you look up really quick, who've been, over the last, I don't know, decade, 15 years, who've been the Bears starting quarterbacks?
All right,
if you just look up Bears quarterbacks.
Bears QBs. List of QBs starting for the Bears on Wikipedia. Okay, what am I looking for here?
I just want to know who they were. I want to know how bad. I want to know how bad and deep the rabbit hole goes for Bears quarterbacks.
I'm gonna presume the first name on the list is the guy who opened the season.
Okay, that's fine.
So it was 3 years of Justin Fields.
Okay. Yep.
Then 3 years of Mitchell Trubisky.
Okay.
Then 1 year with Matt Barkley.
Who?
Jay Cutler was on that team. You know what? This has made the most starts. So Jay Cutler probably got hurt. So Jay Cutler was probably the starter.
Yep.
So if you count that year, 8 years of Jay Cutler.
Oh dear God.
Kyle Orton.
Remember him?
But I think it's because Rex Grossman got hurt because Rex Grossman started the 2 previous
Remember
years.
him?
Then there's Kyle Orton. We're already back to 2003. 2004 was a shit show. They started 4 different guys. 2003, Cordell Stewart started the most games.
Wow.
Jim Miller
for
2 years. Cade McNown, Shane McDaniel, Shane Matthews, Eric Kramer, Dave Craig.
What are the Bears doing?
Dave Craig.
Why can't they get a quarterback? God, that's almost as bad as the Bengals. I would argue the Bengals quarterbacks were better.
Wait, we're not even back to the Mike Tomczak era in 1989. Oh my God. Jim McMahon started more games for them than anyone else, 1987 all the way back to 1982. And oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God. That's insane.
Wow.
So anyway, the end of the story with Jay Cutler is that he was. Thank you, Bears, for the Rick Meyer trade. Here you go, over here. They could only meet in the second round of this cornhole tournament.
Okay.
To get to the situation, Jay Cutler in a game of cornhole.
Okay.
Had to beat. Ready?
Yep.
Doug Flutie.
Wow. Did Doug Flutie win?
Guess who wins?
Doug Flutie.
Doug Flutie kicks his ass.
I mean, it's Doug Flutie.
Doug Flutie kicks his ass. And then the situation is like, well, now I don't have to worry about Jay Cutler. And then it goes out there and gets his ass kicked by some random celebrity.
Wow.
So there you go. And Jay Cutler looked disinterested the entire time he was there.
Well, I mean, that's kind of his thing.
That's on brand. It's on brand.
It is.
So,
it is.
Craig, believe it or not, we're out of time.
Sad as always.
It is. I didn't even get to like 2 of the things on my list, but that's okay. As always, lead us out with what is your final thought this week?
My final thought, we've been saying it, it's you have to start paying attention, and this is it. This is when it starts. This is when we start. You have to start paying attention to fantasy news and NFL news, and especially injury news. So start paying attention because it's starting. We're going.
You just reminded me. I'm on the clock in my slow draft, so I got to make a pick here.
Who'd you
Noah
pick?
Fant or Zay Jones?
Zay Jones.
I agree. We're in like round 13. I mean, what are you gonna get? I mean, there's nothing here. So my final thought is our annual disclaimer.
Oh yes, please do.
We are an entertainment podcast. We like to think we know something about fantasy football, seeing as we've been doing it now for a combined 60 years.
Dear God.
This is my 31st year in the league. 32nd?
Second.
31st.
Second. You were before me, but not that far ahead. But yes.
So this is Craig's 30th year in our home league. We've been doing this for over 60 years. We have a basic understanding of how fantasy football works. We've been doing DFS for the last 10 years. We have never done worse than break even at DFS. All that being said, you must play fantasy football in whatever way you play it. You must play responsibly. Do not DM me. Oh, you told me to draft Patrick Mahomes and now he's dead. He broke his ankle in the first quarter. Knock on wood, that doesn't happen. How could anyone foresee that? So the annual disclaimer, as much as we love doing this, as much as we consider ourselves to be knowledgeable in the sport, we cannot anticipate every situation. Do not angrily write us if the player we recommend does not do well or hold us accountable. We are not accountable for those decisions. However, conversely, we will take credit when Byron Pringle goes off for 40 points and I win. I finish third out of like 450,000 people in an open format.
Or Darren Waller in his rookie year, because we told you. Now he's retired and he's a rapper. But his rookie year, we told you.
Oh my God, we so read the tea leaves on it. Do you remember?
Yes, I remember.
We were looking at week one in DFS. He was like $1,500 because nobody knew who he was. And we're like, guys, listen, he gets in the end zone once. He's golden. He caught like 6 passes for like 80 yards and 2 touchdowns that game. I won so much money that first week. Yep. Seriously, what's the great? We're not right a lot. We're okay most of the time. We're right a lot more than we're wrong. But man, when we hit, oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, HMC said your fantasy football league in it is enacting punishments for this week in last place. Interesting.
We're in a stake league. We're in a stake league that we still have to redeem.
Yeah, we haven't done that yet. But
But the 5 people who contribute to this podcast are in a stake league together. And it's part of our larger league. It's not a 5-man league, but it's part of our larger league. But the top 2 get a free steak dinner. The middle guy has to pay for himself, pays 20% of the bill. And the bottom 2 have to each pay 40% of the bill, essentially giving a free meal to the top guy.
Yep.
And last year I finished in 3rd, and I am so grateful. I just need to buy my own goddamn steak.
True.
And I could deal with that because we're probably going to go someplace decent. And so it's going to be like $40 a person. So the bottom 2 are going to pay like $80 or $90 per person. So yeah, we are in our 31st year of our home league.
Craziness.
1993 was our first draft.
Yeah.
That's 32nd. This will be our 32nd draft because you don't count with 0. You start with 1.
That's true. That is true.
This will be our so 2024 will be our 32nd draft.
I still remember my first ever pick.
Who was your first ever pick?
Warren Moon.
That was my first ever pick the year before you joined.
Wow, there you go.
And I did that just to piss off a guy who loved Warren Moon, honestly. You want to hear something really funny before we go?
Sure.
That year I drafted Warren Moon first, but you know who ended up was my starting quarterback at the end of the year?
Who?
Was Wade Wilson from the New Orleans Saints.
Oh my God.
That was the 1 year Wade Wilson was good, and Jim Mora took the Saints to like a 10-win season.
Wow, I forgot about him.
Yeah.
Forgot.
Yeah. My first ever pick was Calvin Johnson in 2013. Megatron. You can't go wrong with Megatron.
No. That was a good pick.
You want to know the biggest problem with the Detroit Lions historically, and I think they're going to have a great year this year, is that they draft one superstar and then they retire too early because they realize they're never going to win anything. Calvin Johnson, Barry Sanders.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong.
I know, and that makes me sad.
First ever pick was Calvin Johnson. Nice.
There it is. You know what else makes me sad is that we're out of time. But you can still help us out. Leave us a review on wherever you heard us, Apple Podcasts or whatever podcast directory you found us on. If you'd like to reach out to us, if you'd like to ask a specific question, you can always do so through Twitch chat when we're doing this live. But if we're not live, email us. Fignutsdfs. Geez, I'm only a beer and a half fan. Fignutsdfs@gmail.com is our email address. We would love to hear from you. We're on Facebook. We're the Football Fignuts Podcast. That's fantastic. So, Rainier says 5 stars. That should work, right, Rainier? You give us a 5-star rating. You can even write in there, Britt said I have to give me 5 stars. These guys actually really suck, and I'll still thank you for it. So, all right, Craig, the offseason is over. Fun time is over. Next week, the rankings begin.
Dun, dun, dun. With one of our other contributors, we really, honest to God, don't know who it's going to be. So
no, we don't, because they're arguing about who's going to do what. Right. And that's fine. I don't care. If 2 of them show up, I'm going to literally mute one. and then they can just talk. You know what I think? Nobody cares what you think because no one can hear you, asshole. But that's fine. So next 5 weeks, QBs, then running backs, then wide receivers. 4 weeks. Then the kicker, tight end, defense, spectacular.
Yes.
Where Craig and somebody else, because I'm going to be on vacation, spends 45 minutes on tight ends and then advises you to draft a kicker or defense.
Britt is not lying. That's exactly what's going to happen.
It happens every year. We're gonna lock in 5 minutes to talk about defenses and kickers, and then all of a sudden it's like we're out of time. Happens every year.
Pick one. Goodbye.
Yeah, pick one. Pick one. Look at your magazine or your ranking site. Pick one. That's it.
Exactly.
Make your life easy.
Exactly.
So, thank you. HMC says he's going to leave us a review. Thank you, HMC.
Thanks.
And don't forget, if we're not live on Twitch, you can always pick up our podcast there as well. All right, Craig, go get some rest because the busiest time of the year, the next 20 weeks of our life,
yes,
more like 24, are absolutely spoken for. Let's do this.
All right, let's go. Season 8.
Chill the beer. Season 8 is here. Until next week, my name is Britt.
I'm Craig.
And we are the Football Fignuts Podcast. Hi, Deb.